The winds of destiny don't always roar. Sometimes they whisper, and if you miss the whisper, you miss everything. September 3rd, 4 and 5 are such whispers. 3 days where the universe opens a narrow passage, a hidden gate, and waits to see who is prepared to step through. These are not ordinary dates. They carry the weight of alignment, the pulse of transformation, and the test of whether your spirit is ready. Shaolin wisdom teaches that energy gathers in cycles, and some moments are more alive than others. In these windows, silence becomes a weapon, restraint becomes power, and awareness becomes the bridge between you and what the universe was about to give. Ignore this, and the path closes. Honor it, and you draw closer to mastery. Through this video, I will share what these days truly mean, why the universe chooses such windows, and how you can walk with discipline instead of distraction. I will reveal lessons rarely spoken, drawn from ancient practice and the quiet truths of Shaolin training. If you watch until the end, you will understand not just the dates, but the deeper rhythm of your own life. This message is not for the many, it is for the chosen. Those who feel a stirring in their spirit when they hear these words. Those who know that destiny is not handed but earned in silence, ritual, and discipline. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If you walk this path with me, subscribe now and step fully into the circle of awareness that few are willing to enter. There's a truth most people learn too late. Not every door waits for you. Some open only once, and if you walk past them, they close forever. These days, September 3, 4, and 5 are such doors. They appear quietly, without thunder or announcement, yet they hold within them the turning of your path. Think of it this way. A teacher arrives at your side, carrying wisdom that belongs only to you. They do not shout. They do not force you to listen. They simply wait, holding out the lesson. If you turn away, the teacher does not chase after you. They leave, but life has its way of circling back. The lesson you ignored does not vanish. It returns. Only next time it is heavier, more demanding, more costly to carry. In Shaolin teaching, this is called the weight of the unlearned. What you refuse to face grows larger until you have no choice but to bow before it. The wise do not delay. They meet the lesson when it first appears, when it is light enough to be embraced with dignity. During these 3 days, the universe acts like that quiet teacher. It is here to reveal something, to hand you a chance that will not come again in the same form. If you dismiss it, the moment will not repeat itself gently. The cycle will return with greater force, pressing harder against your spirit. Chosen ones, to ignore these days is to invite heaviness later. To honor them is to meet the teacher at the doorway, receive the wisdom in its purest form, and step through before the gate closes. This is the way of discipline. This is the way of mastery. Within the Shaolin path, there is a teaching about inner gates. These gates are not made of wood or stone. They cannot be touched by the hand. They live inside the mind, the body, and the spirit. Each gate represents a level of mastery, a deeper opening of awareness, and a closer alignment with the truth of life. But these gates do not open on their own. No one can force them for you. The key has always been discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It is a form of trust between you and the universe. When you rise early to train, when you restrain your tongue instead of wasting words, when you still the restless mind instead of chasing every distraction, you show the universe that you are prepared, and in return, the gates open. During sacred days like September 3rd, 4, and 5, the universe tests this very readiness. It does not test by giving you something easy. It tests by watching whether your actions match your intention. Are you rooted in self-control, or do you scatter your energy? Do you choose silence over noise, or do you follow the crowd into distraction? The gates respond only to discipline. Without it, they remain closed, and what was meant to enter cannot reach you. Ancient practice has always taught that mastery is less about talent and more about endurance. The monk who holds a stance for hours, the seeker who sits through silence without running away, these are the ones who unlock their inner gates. Discipline is proof that you are ready to carry greater power, greater wisdom, greater destiny. And when the universe sees that proof, it entrusts you with what belongs only to the chosen. Noise has a way of breaking the spirit into pieces. It may not seem harmful at first, a voice here, a distraction there, but slowly it pulls you away from yourself. The ancients taught that a scattered spirit cannot see clearly, cannot choose wisely, cannot hold power. This is why silence has always been the companion of mastery. During the days of September 3rd, 4, and 5, silence becomes more than just absence of sound, it becomes a doorway. In those quiet moments, the guidance of the universe can be heard like the faint rhythm of a drum in the distance. Not loud, not demanding, but steady and true. Only those who fall into silence can hear it. Those who surround themselves with constant chatter, endless noise, or restless activity will miss it entirely. The Shaolin masters would spend long hours in silence, not as an escape, but as training. They understood that the world outside is a mirror of the world within. If the inner space is noisy, then every step feels unstable. But when the inner space is still, even the storm outside cannot shake you. On these days, silence becomes a discipline. It is not just about avoiding sound, it is about refusing the pull of distraction, the need to constantly move, speak, or react. To ignore this practice is to drown in a flood of noise, losing the message that was meant only for you. The chosen know that silence is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the place where energy gathers, where guidance flows, and where the path ahead reveals itself. In silence, the spirit gathers its strength. In distraction, it wastes away. These days will test which path you choose. Cleansing has always been a part of the path, not only of the body, but also of the mind and the space around you. In Shaolin teaching, purification is not about chasing perfection. It is about removing what is heavy, stale, and unnecessary so that energy can move without obstruction. During the days of September 3rd, 4, and 5, this cleansing becomes essential. These are not moments to carry clutter, whether in thought, in habit, or in the air you breathe. When heaviness builds, it blocks the flow of life. The body feels tired, the mind feels restless, and the spirit feels stuck. But when you release what weighs you down, a lightness returns, and the way forward becomes clear. Shaolin monks would sweep their training halls every morning, not just for cleanliness, but as a ritual. The act of sweeping reminded them to also sweep their thoughts, to clear away yesterday's dust, to begin fresh. In the same way, fasting, simple meals, or mindful movement were forms of inner cleansing. These practices were not about denial. They were about making space for energy to flow freely. If these days are treated carelessly, with no effort to release old burdens, the chance for renewal passes by. Ignoring purification is like trying to pour fresh water into a vessel already filled with dirt. It cannot hold what is pure. The universe does not place new energy into a blocked vessel. Cleansing is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is as simple as a quiet pause, a clear room, or a steady breath. But the discipline to keep yourself light is what opens the channel for guidance to flow. Without it, the gift waits outside, unable to enter. These days are for making space within. Mindfulness is often misunderstood as simple stillness, as though it were just sitting quietly and letting the world pass by. But in the deeper teachings, mindfulness is far more active. It is the sharpening of awareness, the training of the spirit's eye to see what usually hides in plain sight. September 3rd, 4, and 5 call for this kind of seeing. These days are not meant for rushing, for filling the hours with movement that leads nowhere. They are days for watching carefully, patiently, both yourself and the patterns unfolding around you. Just as a martial artist studies an opponent's movements before making a strike, the disciplined one studies life, waiting for the right moment to step forward. Shaolin practice often includes long periods of silent observation. A monk might watch a flame flicker or listen to the rhythm of a stream, not because the flame or the water hold the answers, but because in that still watching, the mind learns to settle and the spirit learns to see more deeply. In the same way, observing your own habits, your own thoughts, and the energies moving around you during these days allows hidden truths to rise to the surface. If you rush, you miss them. The signs of alignment do not scream. They whisper. The guidance does not shout. It reveals itself in small shifts, in subtle encounters, in the quiet sense of being pulled toward or away from something. Mindfulness is the discipline of noticing. When the chosen practice this during these 3 days, they train themselves to act with precision rather than impulse. They do not waste energy. They conserve it, channel it, and release it when the moment is right. This is the way mindfulness opens the path to mastery. Mastery has never been about gaining more. It has always been about letting go, to release what is shallow so you can hold what is deep, to set down temporary cravings so your hands are free to receive lasting strength. September 3rd, 4, and 5 are days that test this truth. They are not about indulgence, not about feeding every desire that stirs within you. They are days of restraint, where the measure of your spirit is revealed by what you refuse, not by what you grasp. In Shaolin practice, a student might be asked to hold a simple posture for hours, while the body aches and the mind screams for relief. The lesson is not in the stance itself. It is in the letting go of the impulse to quit, the surrender of comfort in exchange for endurance. Each moment of resistance broken is a seed of strength planted. So it is with the cravings that rise during these sacred days. They may call you with urgency, eat this, chase that, speak when silence is wiser. Yet each time you resist, you step closer to mastery. Each time you yield, you strengthen the chains of impulse. Ancient wisdom teaches that impulses are like fire. If you let them rule you, they burn everything in their path. But if you learn to control the flame, it becomes light, warmth, and power in your hands. The chosen are those who can hold the fire without being consumed by it. To ignore this test is to remain bound, to keep living as a servant of passing desires. But to honor it is to rise, to claim a strength that outlives the craving, a discipline that carries you far beyond these 3 days and into the deeper path of mastery. Rhythm is at the heart of all things. The sun rises, the moon wanes, the tides move in and out. Even the breath carries its own cycle. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. To live in harmony with these patterns is to live in balance. To ignore them is to fall into disorder. In Shaolin training, monks rise with the sun, not only because dawn is quiet, but because it places their practice in rhythm with nature itself. The body feels lighter, the mind clearer, the spirit more connected when aligned with the greater flow. To sleep through that rhythm is to miss the natural current carrying you forward. The universe moves in cycles much like music. When you strike in rhythm, the melody feels whole. But when you act out of time, even the strongest note sounds broken. September 3rd, 4, and 5 are part of such a cycle. They are not random days, they mark a shift, a pause in the unseen order of things, where alignment can be found if you are awake enough to move with it. If these days are wasted, it is like playing music off beat. Nothing harmonizes. Efforts feel heavy, thoughts scatter, and even victories taste hollow. But when you align, the energy of the cycle carries you. Work feels lighter, silence speaks louder, and opportunities arrive with surprising ease. Inner mastery is not about controlling every outcome. It is about sensing the rhythm and moving with it. Just as a martial artist listens to the breath of an opponent before striking, so too must you listen to the universe before stepping. These 3 days are your chance to hear the beat more clearly and to move in harmony, not chaos. This is how life becomes a living symphony. Wisdom that stays only in the mind never takes root. In the Shaolin way, thought must be joined with action, or it remains like a seed never planted in the earth. The teachings were never meant to be just recited, they were meant to be lived, breathed, and embodied with every step. Movement, breath, prayer, meditation. These are not empty rituals, they are anchors. They tie the spirit to the present moment and give form to intention. A monk does not simply speak of discipline. He shows it through the way he stands, the way he breathes, the way he bows in silence. Each act, however small, becomes a vessel carrying wisdom into life. During September 3rd, 4, and 5, this truth becomes especially clear. These days hold promise, but promise alone is not enough. Without action, intention dies. A mind that speaks of clarity but does not sit in meditation will never know silence. A body that seeks strength but does not move will never taste endurance. A heart that prays for guidance but does not open itself in stillness will never hear the answer. Shaolin masters remind their students that discipline is not shown in grand gestures but in daily practice. Sweeping the floor, holding a stance, counting each breath, such simple acts are proof of intention made real. In the same way, your actions in these days become the bridge between what you seek and what the universe is ready to give. To walk through this window without anchoring your intention is to let the moment slip away like water through open hands. But when you live your wisdom through movement, breath, prayer, or silence, you turn fleeting energy into lasting strength. This is how intention becomes destiny. There are moments when life offers you something rare, a gift prepared in silence, waiting for the right hands to receive it. But such gifts are not given without measure. They require readiness, clarity, and discipline. If these days, September 3rd, 4, and 5, are spent in chaos, laziness, or endless distraction, the offering dissolves, not out of cruelty, but out of protection. The universe does not place power into a vessel that is unprepared to hold it. In Shaolin understanding, timing matters. A seed planted too early will wither. A blade drawn too late will fail. The universe moves with the same wisdom. If the spirit is scattered, if the body is dull, if the mind is clouded, then what was meant to lift you becomes too heavy to carry. The gift waits, but it cannot enter. Think of a master placing a sword in the hands of a student. If the student has not yet trained, the sword becomes dangerous, not empowering. The wise teacher waits until the student is ready, until discipline has shaped the body and silence has sharpened the mind. Only then does the weapon become a tool of mastery. The universe does the same with its gifts. To some this feels like loss, but in truth it is mercy. What is withdrawn today is not gone forever. It will return when you have grown strong enough to hold it. The path of discipline ensures that when the cycle comes again you will not miss it. The chosen know this truth. Every moment of chaos resisted, every act of laziness overcome, every distraction set aside is a sign of readiness. And when readiness is proven, the universe entrusts its treasures without hesitation. These 3 days are a mirror, showing you who you are when the universe leans close. They remind you that mastery is not found in noise, distraction, or rushing ahead, but in silence, discipline, cleansing, and presence. When you choose restraint over impulse, awareness over blindness, you align with the deeper rhythm of life. Carry this teaching beyond September 3rd. 5. Every day offers a chance to walk with clarity, to act with purpose, and to live in tune with the cycles around you. The more you honor these small windows, the more the universe entrusts to you. Take this moment as a gentle reminder you are not here by chance. You are called to listen. Now it is your choice to live in alignment. Thank you for walking this path with us today. May your steps be steady, your mind clear, and your spirit light. If this message has spoken to you, support our journey by liking this video and subscribing to our channel, Shaolin Soulfire. Together, let us continue to grow in awareness, discipline, and inner strength. Peace be with you.